feel me? Pow.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he is going to lose yardage here. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And taken right on the 30. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Joe Mix. And right away, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go.
Fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Here's Burrow. Man open. That's Jamar Chase complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
As Jamar Chase picks up a 1st down here, how about a quick reflection on his debut as a rookie? Set a new rookie receiving record and the Bengals franchise record with 1,455 yards and was 3rd in the league in touchdowns. He became only the 2nd rookie receiver named All-Pro since 1998, joining former LSU teammate Justin Jefferson, who did it in 2020.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. First down, Prescott. Finding Elliott for the catch on the out route. And he is going to lose yardage here. To shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 36-yard line.
Second and 11. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Here's Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Bengals are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his...
Under pressure, they got him again. Micah Parsons. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a third and long after that sack we just saw. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here first and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Well, we're used to seeing big plays from him in the passing game. That'll obviously go as a rushing touchdown, and what a rushing touchdown it was.
And you got to think to yourself that this coaching staff has looked at his playmaking ability and said to themselves, Why are we just going to throw it to him? Let's double his touches and make him a big part of the run game. That big playability, it was at the forefront on that one.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a read. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
11-90.
Again, it's Mixon. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Now it's Burrow. This goes out wide for him. And he loses the football a 2nd time. That's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. 21-0 our score after 1.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Gun. Stop.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Burrow on 3rd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
On 1, ready?
They'll run with Mixon. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the 1st down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the 1st down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
Here's Chase now on the jet sweep. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Dorrance Armstrong in on the stop.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
In motion goes the tight end. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first carry for Samaje Perine. The tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall. That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. I don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4 down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing. Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and goal. In motion left, the tight end. Burrow gets this one quickly out wide. Touchdown, Bengals. Hayden Hurst his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Evan McPherson for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Makes the score Cowboys 21, Bengals 7. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. The Cowboys had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 61 yards. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On 1, ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, do a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Jonah Williams, former first-round pick, the guilty party.
Here we go,
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time.
Here we go.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. Down to about the 37.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On 2nd and 7, Burrow. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll look to throw. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. That's caught inside the 20. And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. McPherson's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They pop, and now ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key. Man, it's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 36 yards on the play. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Pollard going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just a third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Pollard again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow finding Mixon here again on back-to-back plays. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. To the air again, Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
To about the 48-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Elliott going to get it again on second down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out, and that will extend their lead even further. While they're able to come away with the interception, Charles, they aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
The Bengals drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football?
And now here is another interception. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. This is Lamb on the end around. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Prescott. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. Gets past one man. And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here we go, here we go. 11.
Mixon will try the right side. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It was Anthony Barr that time who got in there and made the play.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Again, that's Hurst. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And Burrow going to throw again. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack.
Micah Parsons.
He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Over the middle, complete. That's Boyd.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
On 1, ready?
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Hey, we got to go score. Let's go.
Burrow will throw.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Looking to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score.
On one, ready?
They get this out quickly to the left side. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
On one, ready?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
All the option left, it's Burrow.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Burrow
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead now down to 20. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Well, Prescott here to throw.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Here we go, here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
This taken in at the goal line.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow. Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On 2nd and 10, Burrow. Open man is Higgins. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They go play action with Burrow.
And that one almost intercepted. Boy, he's got 2 already, nearly a 3rd, but not to be, and it's 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
On the line, ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held.